Hi everyone. For today's book review, we're going to be looking at the rather hefty Battleships of the Iowa class, written by Philippe Carès and translated from the original French by Bruce Taylor. Both gentlemen titans in their respective fields. This book is, as the French would say, a mélange. A mix of many things. It's a condensed and translated version of the original 2 volumes published in French. This particular single volume is published in English. And it tries to be everything at once. It is as the subtitle says, an operational and design history of the ships. It's a look at life on board the ships. It's a tour of each vessel as museum ships. It is a photo history. It is packed with images, line diagrams, cross sections, weapon layouts. It tries to do everything. And to put the cherry on top, this volume also features a handful of computer-generated reconstructions of the Missouri and the Iowa in their first couple of years of service, and those reconstructions are beautifully executed and imaginatively incorporated into the text. However, they are repeated, and they only are of those 2 ships during the first portions of the career. There are no reconstructions of them in the 80s configurations, and the New Jersey and the Wisconsin don't receive the same treatment. The first half of the book looks at the evolution of battleships and their design, their construction, and their basic features, their turrets, their hull structure, the various weapon systems that they would use throughout their very long lives, from anti-aircraft guns to tomahawk missiles, and even a section on the air power that they used, their various helicopters, for example. The second half of the book is then comprised of basically 4 mini sections where each ship is given its full service history, from entering service, engagements in the various conflicts that they were involved with, Second World War, Korean, Vietnam, Gulf War, right through to their ultimate preservation. And there's even a neat section about some of the movie appearances that particularly the Missouri appeared in. So this book has a ton of information, and it's packaged very well. There's a mixture of black and white and color images, all of them expertly and beautifully rendered and published on the page. The pages are nice and thick, so all the quality is preserved. Some of the onboard shots, I have to say, kind of look like staged promotional shots. It's like, look at us, we're having fun on a battleship, or look at us, we are intense and stern and devoted to duty, haha. But it does show a more personal side to living, crewing, and working on board these massive vessels, and does add a personal touch as opposed to more technical histories that look at the ships as machines. By being everything, it doesn't kind of settle into what it wants to do, what it wants to really be. If this book goes into a second edition, the editors do need to take a look at some of the layouts. There's a sub-chapter about the fate of the 2 uncompleted sister ships, and the pages are mixed up, so you start to get images of the Iowa before the chapter on the Kentucky ends. So there's just a few layout issues that should be fixed, particularly for a book as hefty as this one. I think part of the reason is because it has been compressed. They've just tried to cram as much as they could into this book. However, if you are looking for a single book about the Iowa-class battleships and you don't have any of the other books, and these ships being these ships, there's plenty written about them, then this is a good option to add to your battleship bookshelf. It is profusely illustrated, it is beautifully written, and it covers all the aspects of these ships that you want. There's even a subsection about the previous battleships that bared the names of the 4 ships. So there's plenty there. However, if you do have some of the other books, then some of the technical elements and some of the design elements do feel as though they have been rehashed. There's one table, I think it's with the radar equipment, that has basically been copied from Sumrell's book. And for those of you who are interested in the design evolution of the Iowa class, all 4 ships, right through to the 80s, then Sumrell's book is still the go-to, especially because of its plethora of line diagrams and layouts. I have a copy, it's in storage. If it wasn't in storage, I would show it to you. Sorry, most of my battleships are in deep storage. Also, if you want to see the ships in 3D graphics, then Kagero's volumes include the Iowa, and I believe there's one of the Missouri, also display those ships there. And again, my copy's in storage, I'm sorry, but trust me, I have it, I've seen it, I've looked at it. For the first timer who is looking for a single book on the Iowa class battleships, this is a 5 captain's hats, because as I said, covers all the bases and does it in a beautiful, well illustrated package. For those who already have other books about the Iowa class, Norman Friedman's Design History of US Battleships, Paul Stillwell's epic books about the lives of each battleship, do a comprehensive job of each ship. And if you have those, then this will feel redundant. But if you don't, then this book is a great catch. And also the benefit of this book is that it updates the story of all 4 vessels to their current museum ship status. So that's also a plus. So if you like battleships, do hunt this book down. It is a bit hefty, but I found my copy as part of a New Year's sale, so I was able to get it at a massively reduced price. And if you are looking for that one book to put on your shelf, then certainly this is one book to get for your Iowa class battleships. So check it out and add it to your battleship bookshelf.